Available statistics show that the average life expectancy of a Nigerian is 54 years, placing the country among top 10 countries with lowest life expectancies in the world. It is, however, not surprising that these 10 countries with the lowest life expectancies are in Africa, as experts attribute harsh living conditions in most parts of the continent as a determinant factor. A look at the global life expectancy table suggests that most of the countries with higher life expectancies are those with notable improvements in science, technology, and innovations, STI. This observation underscores the role that science, technology, and innovation, STI, plays in ensuring improvements in quality of life for the citizenry. The impact of STI is not only felt in quality of life, but it is also a major factor for economic development, as shown in all economic indices. In Nigeria, the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology is saddled with the responsibility of facilitating the development and deployment of science, technology, and innovation to enhance the pace of socio-economic development of the country. From all indications, this objective is still far from becoming a reality. What can be done to bridge this gap? This is our focus on this episode of Nigeria Today. I am Lydia Ochi. Welcome to the program. With me in the studio to provide answers to our posers is engineer Kashim Ali. He is the immediate past president, Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Also with us in the studio is the Director General, National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion, NOTAP, Dr. Ban Azumi Ibrahim. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you. Good evening, Nigeria.
All right. Let me begin with engineer Kashim Ali. With understanding of the extent Nigeria needs developments in science, technology, and innovations in improving the quality of life in Nigeria, how important is STI to Nigeria as a country?
Well, the STI is what we need apart from our lives, because like you rightly say, life expectancy is low in our region because of the unavailability of STI. And the point is, even STI we're talking about is not static. There's been continuous evolution, improvement in the way things are done. You know, we move from all the revolution, from the first revolution to the second, to the third, and the fourth, transiting to the fifth now. But in reality, in our own environment, if we are to be honest with ourselves, we may still be operating at the second revolution level. So, and then that explains why we have all the challenges that we have. The truth about life is our life is organic, our environment is organic, but even in that form, we have to do some management. And because of the change in our times, ecological changes and everything, we have had to develop better ways of managing our environment. That can only come from the practice of STI. So we need it just as we need our life. We need science, technology, and innovation just as we need our life. You know, we should breathe it, we should eat it, we should sleep with it. That is the only way we can be part of the world community. Okay,
thank you. Dr. Ibrahim, in spite of several programs, interventions, workshops, and what have you, adopted by the federal government to improve the country's standing in the area of science, technology, and innovation, we've not seen many results. Recently, Nigeria ranked 118th in the Global Innovation Index, that is in 2021, out of 132 economies. Where does this leave us in global affairs?
Yeah, Thank you very much for this very interesting question. You see, improving of quality of life depends on the vibrancy of our research and development efforts. The world is moving from resource-based to knowledge-based economy, and application of knowledge to improve on the quality of life of citizens, that is key. But if you compare us with advanced countries, in advanced countries they have spent so much, or they are investing so much amount of money on research and development. And certainly any country that does not fund research and development adequately may have challenges in improving the quality of life of the citizens. In no time, we regulate inflow of foreign technology. We know the level of consumption of foreign technology in this country. More than 90% of the technologies that power the Nigerian economy are imported in any sector you can think of. Since technology are products of research and development, so research and development is key. But if you look at the funding over the last 10-15 years, the funding of R&D in this country is insignificant. But recently there has been improvement on funding of research and development. That is key. If you have a vibrant research and development culture, you begin to see technologies coming out from the research and development efforts. And it is technologies that demarcates between developed and developing nations. If you want to improve on the quality of life of your citizens, you don't have to continuously depend on other people to bring their technology or to deploy their technology, or you get their technology at a very high price to come and improve the quality. If one time they say they will not bring the technology to you, they will not sell the technology, what would you do? So funding of R&D is key. If the country is vibrant in research and development, we are blessed. Nigerians are hardworking, are intelligent. What we need is the adequate environment to flourish. Like when it was said, simply, Nigerians could go outside the country and they excel. When they come back to Nigeria, we don't feel their impact. So what is the missing link? The missing link is the facilities, the environment itself, and in some cases also our attitudes as Nigerians. You see, any innovation or invention that comes out from Nigerians, we have responsibility, we Nigerians, to ensure that it works. We have responsibility to ensure that we patronize what is Nigerian. We have responsibility to encourage people who come out with any product or services that is made in Nigeria. If you patronize them, they will be encouraged to do more. So where we don't get this patronization, then we have to bring a policy in place. What type of policy? If the government says if we have a technology that will be able to convert our raw materials into a product, and we put a very high tariff for any similar product coming into this country. Because Nigerians have developed a very high taste of foreign goods and services, even if they are not as good as what is made in Nigeria. So that is where policy would come. A policy would come that you put a very high tariff on imported commodities and encourage local innovations to come up and encourage Nigerians to promote and also patronize what is made in Nigeria. That is key.
Thank you very much. Engineer Kashimali, looking at the statistics I mentioned earlier, how can Nigeria improve on its STI output in 2022?
Well, the first thing is we have to run away from comfort zone. We love cliches in this country. You say end malaria by so and so time, end hunger, and there's no, we have always housing for all, water for all. We have done all this, there's none that we have successfully executed. If we run away from cliches and begin to do the face reality, we'll make progress. Truth is, for a long time we have had institutions that were put in place to help us transform. And this is in line with what happens in other countries. All the countries, like especially the so-called Asian tigers, they were at the same level, even below us at certain times in history. They took definite decisions. One was to do education. Let people go to school. It doesn't matter. If you have capacity to do science, go and do science. They're producing people PhDs at in various sciences, just producing them, sending them out of the country, any part of the world where they could get education. They started with that. And when they prepared them, they came back and they were directly involved in the research effort of their country. So one, in doing their research, they are conscious of the experience they have had from outside. Secondly, they also have patriotism in them. They wanted to jumpstart the processes in their own country so that at least they could be at par, if not better than the countries they were coming from. So there was that focus. There was no noise about it. Nobody put a timeline. Just let's start doing it. And they started. And continuously they are doing. In fact, when some of them grew to become like first world, I recall if you call them first world, they will not accept. They don't even accept it to be second world. They say they are third world countries. I remember I had an engagement with the Malaysian institutions, the science and technology institutions in Malaysia. And they say, no, they are third world countries. They insist that they are third world countries because they are still evolving, trying to improve on what they are doing. But here we are, we want to be called all manners of things. We want to describe ourselves as a developing country, even when we are doing nothing. We had like what we have, Naseni. Naseni was set up in the same way that countries of the Asian Tiger Group set up such institutions. And they're driven by the highest office in their land. In fact, and I use Malaysia as an example, the Prime Minister is the chairman, and all the ministers that are science related are involved. These things, they are not talking rhetorics. They sit down and do. They have allocations that are meant for research, and they apply them. Because there's a point will come in your life where you must do apply research. There's academic research that they do in the university for the purpose of getting PhD or something. But there's the applied research, which is you concentrate the resources of even those who have done research in the university, who have done academic research, to come again, sit down. Let's see how we can operationalize all those things that we have done. Let's put them into product. Let's put them into tangible things that we can hold. That's how nations grow. But so we must, first of all, there's more a paradigm shift from our attitude of always wanting to just ape things. We just celebrate before we even start. And then face the reality to say, okay, in which area are we deficient? Which one comes top? Let's do a prioritization of their challenges. For instance, power is critical to anything you do in any country, anywhere in the world today, because of the development that we're talking about is based on power. Even we are talking about electric cars. You recall, it was in the news, a Tesla car failed on the Lagos Bridge. You know why? It's the quality of electricity that they fed into that battery. People think just like any electricity, if you want to know that electricity has qualities, check your phone. Use maybe you have an iPhone and then you use a charger for another phone and see whether it will charge. It will charge. So that's the same thing. We think anything can just happen by magic. So we must run away from magic. We must run away from cliches. We must face reality. Let experts be assembled to take us through what we need to understand and implement in our country.
So like you said, power is fundamental for us to ensure that we develop technologically. Now let's take a break. We'll return in a short while to continue the discussion. Stay with us.
This is NTA News 24 broadcasting from Abuja. You can watch us anywhere, anytime on the following platforms. For more information, log on to our website www.nta.ng or join us on our social media handles, Facebook at NTA News 24.
For comments, suggestions and inquiries, send an email to news24@nta.gov.ng or call us on the following numbers.
NTA News 24,
news and more news.
Welcome back. The program is Nigeria Today, and we are looking at the development of science, technology, and innovation in Nigeria. Still with me in the studio is Engineer Kashim Ali, immediate past President, Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Koren, and Dr. Dan Azumi Ibrahim, Director General, National Office for Technology, Acquisition and Promotion, NOTAP. Dr. Ibrahim, NOTAP was established in response to Nigeria's need to facilitate the emergence of a strong STI system reflective of the desire to evolve a strong economy based on science and technology. How is that going for your agency, and where are you currently with regards to achieving this objective?
Thank you very much. If I may add, specifically, we are to regulate inflow of foreign technology into the country. And we also have responsibility to encourage and promote the development of locally generated technologies. We allow technologies to come in. Those technologies that we don't have in this country. But we have to have what we call a strategic magnet, the human capacity that would, within short period of time, absorb some of those technologies, domesticate them, and make them Nigerian technologies. Any technology that is readily available in the country, we don't allow it to come. We don't register it. How do we regulate the inflow? If any Nigerian, say, wants to establish a manufacturing outfit, and he looks within the four corners of this country and doesn't get a competent technical partner, the only option is to go outside. That is now when he gets a competent technical partner to provide him with the necessary technologies to meet his own or her own demand. So it is that agreement we register in NOTAP. So we see clearly the kind of technology that is coming in, the complexity of the technology, and how much the Nigerian would pay for these services being rendered by the technical partners. Then we see areas where Nigeria spends a lot of money in terms of licensing fee. Then we draw the attention of our research and development partners, the universities, the research establishments, to concentrate and put efforts in areas where we spend a lot of money, so that we gradually remove the country from the shackles of dependency of this imported technology. If we give 10 approvals today, at least 6, 7 or 8, I can say, are on software. And we have seen the quantum amount of money that leave this country as licensing fee. So we had to now intervene. What did we? We had to call the stakeholders. What do we do so that the country gets the best out of this relationship? We came out with what we call a local vendor policy. Any software, before we register it, any agreement on software, before we register it, there must be a Nigerian IT company that would be involved in the deployment of that software, will be involved in the maintenance of that software. The strategy is, if you involve Nigerians in the deployment, in the maintenance, whether the owners of the software like it or not, good part of it will be captured.
That's true.
So after paying the licensing fee, because normally you pay licensing fee, that is one-off, but there is another caveat, that the owners of the software continuously milk the system. After every year, you pay between 12 to 23% of the licensing fee as maintenance fee. We insist, as a matter of policy, that if any Nigerian company is involved in the deployment, is involved in the maintenance, 40% of that ATS should be paid to Nigerians as compensation. I'm telling you, it was with difficulty, sometimes with threat, sometimes with blackmail. But when you remain firm, they have no option but to follow it. So after 7, 8 years of operations, we reviewed the program. and we have seen the impact of that program. The quantum number of Nigerians whose capacity have been developed in terms of software development and application. I am glad to say now Nigerians are able to develop softwares and have started exporting softwares across the African region. That is a strategy.
That's awesome.
So we look at the areas where Nigeria spent, then we look at the long-term implication of that. Then we develop strategies to see how we gradually, I'm telling you, if we encourage Nigerians to use Nigerian softwares, the quantum number of softwares coming into this country would gradually reduce. And the implication is we save a lot of foreign exchange.
Of course. Now, Engineer Ali, is there any formal platform for encouraging individual innovations in the country? Because sometimes you see some Nigerians with innovations coming out to display them at public places, but at the end of the day, this is as far as these projects go.
Thank you very much. You know, it's saddening to see that again, I'll take us back to what I said earlier. We love shows, and that is it. You see, if you look at especially the Asian countries like Hong Kong, Malaysia, China, what has grown their economy is SMEs. There are some products that we have in this country that are manufactured in people's homes. Toys and all that are sophisticated, that we buy expensively for our children and grandchildren, that we could make here. For instance, okay, recently it's in the media, there's an old man, he says he's even getting old now, he wants to bequeath it to younger ones, who manufactured helicopter. Of course, these things have been done out of nature's gift, not based on formal training or scientific basis, but they do work. What can we do with such? Take all those together, create a place for them, just one big hall. Keep them. You do your own. Let's manufacture toys out of them for a start. And so that instead of, well, if you recall, many years ago, I recall even as a child, we used to have a paper aeroplane. You assemble it so that when you put it in the air, it starts going. You have to put a string.
Yes.
If not, it will fly away. Those are it's the same technology. They have improved on it. But they want to have today, because in those days, batteries were in just one shape, the regular battery for torchlight, because there was no electricity. But today we have batteries of different sizes and micro batteries that you could put in such things that could fly and do whatever you want to do with them. So because we have that, people are able to manufacture those things. So let's use them, even if it's toys. Let people produce toys. Then after they establish themselves, making toys and making money and being happy, then you can bring in researchers who will come and take it from that point and do something else. But what we do is we bring them to shows, we show them off. There's somebody who say he had one car, he drove from Bida or from wherever, he came to Eagle Square. That's until the following year, they'll bring him again, and that's what we've been doing. But that is not what they do in other places. Believe you me, and I feel very bad. There is Penang is the Silicon Valley of Malaysia. I just wanted, because Malaysia, when I was going to Malaysia, was kind to us in terms of they wanted to help us build. And I visited some of these. There's a big hall they had in Penang where young people are you just come. You don't need to be anything. Don't even be sure of what you are saying. Just come in and do what you want to do. And do it, and they'll help you to put scientific basis to it.
Okay, so finally, Dr. Ibrahim, in 30 seconds, what is the state of our research centers in the country?
Research centers?
Yes. 30 seconds.
Yes, actually in the last 4 or 5 years, the funding of R&D has improved significantly. And innovation started coming up. But before you are able to translate innovation into product and services in terms of commercialization, you have to protect the intellectual asset. We have seen a gap in NOTAP. People are in a hurry to publish what they have come up with. So if you publish it, you have thrown it onto public domain, and somebody can take it and make use money of it. And since commercialization of R&D is a private sector affair, the owner of the innovation must first of all have to protect the intellectual assets. So NOTAP saw this, and NOTAP has been assisting any Nigerian innovator who has come out with any innovation that is patentable. We patent it to him, or to her, free of charge.
That's good to know. This is where we wrap it up on tonight's episode. Let Nigerians think Nigerian, buy Nigerian, live Nigerian. That's it on the program today. Thanks to engineer Kashim Ali, immediate past president, Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Koren. We appreciate your insights on the program.
Thank you very much.
And we also appreciate Dr. Azomi Ibrahim, Director General, NOTAP. We're also grateful to you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. You're always welcome.
And our viewers, we're grateful. We thank you for always being there. Don't forget, you can also watch these and other episodes of the program on YouTube on www.ntanews/24help.com. Thank you for watching. I'm Lydia Ochi. See you tomorrow.